Welcome back, everybody. We are at Kansas this week. Friday night, which means got Milt Minter Jr. in the booth with me again. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Sean? It's another Friday night, and we are in Kansas. Where is Annie M? Because we're going to have a tornado going around this nice big field today, baby.
Heck yeah, we got, let's see, 12 cars turn qualifying laps there. Oh, Sam Young is listed in the standings. Is he just watching, or is he going to race tonight? Haven't heard from him.
He's not on TeamSpeak, so... The boss checking it out.
Yep. And I just realized that my scene didn't transition like I was supposed to. OBS lies about the hotkeys still working in studio mode.
But the sound is working, so you got that going
yeah,
for
the
you.
sound is working. We're riding along here with Jonathan Jones in the number 77 car. Maybe calling on him later for some in-car reporting. And you see our starting grid up on the screen there, a new feature I just completed the graphic on today. So we got Ken Hansen on the pole in the number 9 car with series admin and points leader Slim Jim Gately, position 2, number 23 car. We got row 2, Will Farmer continuing to impress in the number 2 car. Jonathan Jones, our in-race reporter, and outside row 2 in position 4, Jeff Hale 5th, T.G. Reese 6th, 7th, Dino Francesconi, 8th place, Ryan Johnson. Let's hope he has some better luck this week, because this season has not been kind to him. Bill Farmer in the 06, Pops Margison rounding out the top 10 in the 99, Rick Bisconer in the Kings 43, Ed Fowler in the 05. Well, Sam Young, if he's racing, is in the 98. If he's just watching, well, I guess he's just watching. You, Den... Oh, Mark. Mark DeSenza taking a provisional there. So he's probably going to be in the last row with Ed Finley, as those other 2 entries are me.
Well, I tell you, it's been a long time since Ken Hansen got a pole, and one of these guys, you know, ripped the pole away from either Jim Gately or Mark D. Rocket, you know, so this is big for him, you know.
Heck yeah.
He's been starting in the back, and the farther back, you know, it's that choo-choo train effect where you just kind of, you don't want to be a caboose, you know, so... this time he gets to start out front. Let's see if he can pace these guys. You know, Slim Jim Gately's going to try to use the tire card.
Absolutely.
The ace of spades. The only
Slim
card I need is the ace of spades.
Slim knows how to take care of the tires, how to take care of the car, and stay out of trouble. That's why he is where he is. But Mark DeSenza is absolutely on fire right now. He's won just about everything, as looks like Rick Pisconer will be going to a backup car there. Yeah, Mark DeSenza, Mark DeRocket, he's won everything there is to win the last couple weeks. I think your mic was stuck open there, Milty.
I was scratching my head, actually.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll get you some flea powder. So, with the rocket coming from the back, that's going to be something to watch, and I have a feeling that's where my camera 2 is going to be pointed for the first, what do you say, first fuel run of this race? Before he's up front knocking on Slim Jim and Ken Hansen's door.
Yeah, and we got the Francesconi brothers in the house. I told you not to mess with the Francesconi brothers, Tony. Okay, Frank.
Yeah, they'll put cement tires on your car, right?
Want to mess with the Francesconi brothers. But it looks like Den, you know, he has. We'll have to see if he actually runs the race. A lot of times he practices and hangs out. Everybody that knows Den's situation physically, it's taxing, you know, to run a whole race. You're paralyzed from the neck down, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
I'm
this guy can drive, but I mean, what he has to do to twist his body to touch those keys to drive, you know, obviously he can't drive with a steering wheel. So, but he's just amazing when he's on the track. But we'll have to see if he runs here. But definitely he's going to be rooting for his brother, also Madera, California resident, both of them. Calm before the storm.
absolutely, and yeah, Den Francesconi is an absolutely amazing story. If you don't know it, check out Sconi.com.
Sconi.com,
As Milt said there, fantastically talented painter who he does it all with his mouth. I mean, I can barely draw a stick figure, and this guy is painting breathtaking landscapes. So yeah, truly inspirational.
Yeah, I mean, he's been, you know, commissioned to do works for the state of California, all different kinds of stuff he's involved in. And he said, you know, he's had some good runs, and he's won before. You know, he's actually won a truck race. You know.
Oh, and the Grand National Sprints, he was very much in competition for a championship last season.
It's hard to win
a great run.
This league.
It is. I can tell you firsthand the way my season's gone, although I was lucky enough to finally pull one out at Bermuda last week in the super speedways, but you can just get oh so close and have it yanked away by the slightest little thing. You gotta execute perfect, and you gotta have perfect circumstances. Don't necessarily want to call it luck, because you know, luck is where preparation and circumstance intersect, and especially true in racing.
Far out.
You gotta make your own luck to a degree, but the cards still have to be in your favor. It's a cruel game sometimes. Pace cars in, and here we go.
I don't expect Ken Henson to fight this too much. I think he'll run, maybe try to run a few laps in the lead. Oh, as Hale gives a big push. Having trouble seeing these Jersey Shore numbers here. That would be Will Farmer.
Yeah, young Will Farmer in the 2 car, although you can't really see the number.
And there's people all over those cars, man. There's a whole slew of them, too.
Yeah, they can go back to Staten Island.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, lap 1 here.
Oh, yeah, Will Farmer's falling back in that Jersey Shore car. I think he spun the tires on the start there, which is easy to do. Starting on the bottom in the tri-oval. Cold tires. First gear start on most of these 1.5 milers. But he held on to it. He's got it going the right way, and it's time to get to work, kid.
Well, we talked to Jonathan Jones before the race. He said he was going to take it easy, and he was up there fighting for third place, but actually letting Jeff Hale go, which is probably a smart move. Hale likes to push, and he's going to try to go to the front. He's not messing around. Don't worry about tire wear later.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes at these races, you know they're a long race, you know you got a chance at least a caution. Sometimes you just go at it for the first run, see what it takes, see where that threshold is.
Field all tight knit, close. Ken Hansen still on point. Nice start for the Coors Ford and He's really grabbing this thing by the throat right now.
And as I mentioned,
But you got those guys behind you, that 23 and that 29.
as I mentioned earlier, Mark DeSenza is already making his moves. He's gotten around Ed Finley and Ed Fowler, a pair of Eds there, and is setting his sights on Rick Mosconer now.
I was talking to Mark right before he got in the race car. I told him, I go, last week when I was working, the foreman sounded so much like him that I turned around and thought Mark DeSenza was in California, and he's decidedly not.
Wrong coast.
And he goes, well, did he chain smoke? And I was like, yeah. I go, you guys could be brothers, man. Jim Gately just pestering the 9.
Meanwhile, Hale looking low on the apron.
That guy wants to go.
Yeah, he does not wait around.
On the YouTube chat window, speaking of Scony art, Dennis, he says, I got 12 wins at FSB. What are you guys talking about?
I told you he'd won more than just the truck races.
Man, I've been gone for a while, man.
Man, he's a force to be reckoned with, especially on super speedways.
He also says he'll be running here at Michigan, BR and Lowe's. So
Excellent.
He's got some races scheduled here in the near future.
Excellent. Definitely looking forward to that, brother.
The thing he does well is he's just really smooth and hangs around close to the front, and that's how he's got those wins. Oh boy, these guys are pretty close.
Yeah, but they've run
right there, just a little bit behind here, watching the action.
Yeah, Hanson, Slim, and and Hale are running pretty close together here, as you said, but it's not the first time they've done this, and we do have a caution on the track. I'm not entirely certain what for.
I think I see a Coors beer can. No, caution is out. It looks like there's damage on the 59 car of Ryan Johnson in the rear. Well, better take a look at that.
I see some damage on the... I can't even read the number. One of these Jersey Shore cars. Is that Ed? Yeah, it's the 80 of Ed Finley. And hard luck, Ryan Johnson is torn up again. The back end of that car does not look good, like you said, Milty.
I'm rewinding it right now, and I'm sure you'll get to that too, but this looks like a violent hit here.
Ooh, I see what happened now. Yep, and... Oh, okay, yeah. Coming right up.
Oh boy, it looks like the 8 got started to get... felt like he was going to get sideways, so he let the car drift up. Maybe thought he was clear, and then afterwards, the carnage gets hit.
Yeah, here it comes on the replay screen.
Okay, here we go. It's
see,
by Finley.
Yeah, looks like... Not sure what happened to Dino. I guess he just came up a little too aggressively.
Either he thought he was clear, or he started getting snap loose or something.
And Ryan was okay until here comes Ed with the tires locked up and got a double hit there, actually. 2 cars.
They were all on the binders, that's for sure.
Yeah, they were on the binders hoping he stayed low, and it just did not work out that way.
Yeah, it did. Wow. Just looked like he thought he was clear. Or that thing just started pushing right. Big time. So that changes things.
I'll take a look at what Ed Finley saw coming into that. Yeah, see, he guessed wrong. He thought the wreck was going to stay low, and he just came in on the brakes. Going into that corner, if Ed drives in car, he couldn't see Ryan around the A-post until it was too late. A hard hit for both of them, and leave the 06 of Bill Farmer retired on the spot.
Well, 12 laps in, but even still, I think you got to get 4 tires, my friend.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they all did.
Foamy.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way I would take 2 tires on the first stop after 12 laps on a run. It's a little less than half a run, about 40% of a run right there. Yeah, no way. And I just realized, much to my embarrassment, I somehow don't have Jonathan Jones' car on my laptop, which is camera 2.
Yeah,
That's extra embarrassing.
I downloaded them, and it looks like it's showing on the broadcast, but mine
well, it's showing the main screen broadcast because I painted it.
I see armor.
Yeah, so I guess I didn't transfer it over to my laptop.
Yeah, I didn't even look to see when I downloaded cars if it was there.
Yeah, I know he was having trouble working the car file manager, so maybe that's it.
Well, all the fans can see it. That's what matters.
Absolutely. So when I'm on camera 1, you'll know it because you'll see the 77, and when I'm on camera 2, you'll know it because it'll be red.
Will Farmer went back a few spots, but he's in good shape there. And these guys have been hanging with each other.
He's right where he's been running.
We'll have to see if Dino has any damage from that wreck. He feels bad about that.
Yeah, we've been cracking down on the piling in, but I would not necessarily count that as one because I think Ed thought he was clear, or he thought he picked the right spot, and the hole just closed up. That's just racing sometimes, and pace cars off.
Well, Brothers Body and Paint did a really good job on that rear bumper real quick. We'll have to see Ryan Johnson from P10 what he can do. What he got left.
Yeah, I was about to say the back end of Ed's car looks okay, but then I realized Snooky was on it.
Snooky.
I think that's Snooky. I don't know.
What's up, girl? He got rear-ended.
He might have engine damage as he's having a hard time keeping up. Yeah, the 80 car is struggling. He's topping out at 155 miles per hour down the front stretch. I'd say he took some heavy motor damage in that wreck. Meanwhile, Ryan Johnson, his spoiler's still a bit wiggly, but he's keeping up, letting teammate Mark DeSenza by there.
Pace is back up there again. Dino, you know, that was involved in the wreck there. His best lap, 32.1, ran at 32.2, so almost 32.3. He is in the draft in there, but they're obviously getting along. We'll see what happens over time.
Did Mark DeSenza get himself another end of longest line? I'm trying to figure out why he's still in 11th after Now 10th after passing Ryan.
Yes, sir, he did.
Oh my
Yeehaw.
goodness. Oh my goodness, I've called him on this every broadcast so far this season. I don't think he's actually gotten busted. It finally came true. But it doesn't seem to have cost him much, as he's still in the draft of Rick Bisconer, so we're riding on board with him now on the side-by-side. Hoping to get some good action out of this one as he charges through the field, most likely. Looks like Slim Jim's making a move on Jeff Hale for the lead here. Ooh, could have crushed a beer can between those two.
Whoa! Mark's falling back a little bit, and he's got some space.
He's in the draft. I can see he's in the draft of Bisconer.
Yeah. Oh, they're dicing and slicing up front.
Yeah, this racing up front's going to help him, because it's going to have a chain reaction effect through this whole pack. And as long as he can keep them 0.6 ahead, with or without a draft behind, he can pull up. Meanwhile, Jonathan Jones taking a look under Jeff Hale for P2. Ken Hansen coming back strong on the outside.
Johnson way down the line and beyond down there, which is legal, folks. Slicing and dicing. Dino's feeling some pressure here.
Yeah, it's legal to go down there on this track. This is not super speedway rules with below the line, but that is
white line.
Yeah, it is at your own risk, because the spotter shuts up when you get down there. You stop saying car high and you stop saying car low to the car on the outside, so you make that move at your own risk.
Mark DeSouza, I think, was trying to be easy on his tires for a few laps, and now he's applying the pressure all over the 43 car.
I think he just got held up, not sure what the 80 and the 59 had left. And once he got around them, it's on like Donkey Kong. He's caught one of the Jersey Shore cars. I don't know. Bill Farmer, okay. I saw it was Ed Fowler in the 05 that retired before.
Oh, Will Farmer way out in the gray there. I'd say, but he definitely pushed it really hard there. I don't think that's the line he wanted.
No, sir.
The Hooters number 8 of Dino Francesconi is definitely putting the pressure on. Obviously, they just banged out that Buick, and it's good.
Seems to definitely be holding its own. And they must not have had to work on it very long either, because they didn't lose a lot of track position pitting afterward.
You're not seeing these guys that dominated almost, you know. You gotta admit, dude, Homestead was pretty lopsided, you know, and it's good to see. We got some action here, and we got some players that haven't, and they're not running away with this stuff, you know, as of yet. Well, the master, the professor, the admin of this series, the stud, dump yourself into a Slim Jim. He going.
Yep. Let Hale lead a couple laps there, and then reasserted his authority. And he is holding court. Jonathan Jones is definitely holding his own tonight too, hanging on right up there with those guys in 4th place.
Generally, when you have a caution like that, obviously it changes your whole strategy. But then it gives you a couple strategies. You can either still try to save tires or push and close those windows down. There's a lot of math going on right away by these guys. Of course, I wasn't paying attention, so. When did we have a caution?
It was about 12 laps in, I believe.
Well, okay. So, we got probably around 13 laps.
12 makes it a nice window to break out, because you get about 32 to 34. So 12 laps means there was 94 laps to go.
Clutch and get 35. I've seen it before.
I've seen it before. I haven't been beaten by it before.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta be good at it. Rick Johnson was so great is so great at, just lifting early and then right in the center of the corner, pushing that clutch in and letting it roll, and then hitting the gas.
It's like Ken Hansen's having a little. Ken Hansen's having a little trouble holding the line here, and Jonathan Jones is trying to pounce on it. And meanwhile, Mark DeCenza's charge has lost some steam. Oh, now Hansen's looking underneath Jeff Hale. Getting racy up here again.
Jeff Hale really good on that outside line and right in the dark patch. Really good run there, and he's got the draft of the 77. Well, we were talking with Jonathan Jones before the broadcast and talking about your first broadcast that did a great job and nobody got to hear it. But
oh, just keep rubbing it in.
No, it's just, but the point is I got to meet him. I've never even talked to him. And
That's true.
I was like, that's exactly what you were saying. He's got a great voice. He's a historian of racing. And what I'm seeing right now is this guy's the real deal on the track too. So
absolutely, and he's only been improving since he got here.
Working that outside line and just getting that great run coming out. The inside and shorter apex might be good later in the run, but. That's kind of always was my downfall here. Is I'm kind of a bottom feeder and got to hit the sweet spot of this track. But you do see a couple differences here. You see Hale kind of staying lower, but now Jonathan's mimicking him.
I like to come in high in 1 and I come in low in 3. I've always found that if I come in high in turn 3, I can't get it back down to the bottom. I just can't seem to get it to hook at these cookie cutter tracks. But
look at Slim Jim, how he angles that thing in. He comes in higher and just nails that apex. Gets that great roll, and I've listened to him talk about it when he used to have his classes and training sessions, like on off days, like Sundays, and he would talk about that because I'd be like, dude, how do you go so fast on a short track? I suck at short tracks. Or how are you guys getting better tire wear?
Now, if you watch Slim's line, he pretty much he drives about as straight as possible through the corner. That's the fastest way. The longest way through the corner is the fastest, and that's, making the biggest, widest arc. Make those tires work less, as Jonathan Jones has moved himself into P2.
He makes the pass. And he got a little apron there, too, but was solid as a rock. Just made that move happen. That could have been, faster, but actually it was just a great move. Just breezed that apron just a hair. So 12 and probably 14. So even at 32, 46 laps. So you're still looking at 8, 9 laps, unless you want to start the short pit. Looking at the times, Jonathan Jones' last lap, as he crosses the line now, 32.8, best lap 31.9. So definitely tire degradation is getting in effect. Plus they're racing too, you know.
Absolutely. Making those moves, makes you use a little bit of that grip. But he's actually pulled up a little bit on Slim too. But you can't get too far away with the draft being what it is here, so no surprise that they reeled Slim back in after he gained some ground while they sliced and diced.
Wow, and Jonathan Jones is stalking the professor. Well, and Jonathan was practicing pit stops.
Very important here.
And those are coming up.
Those are coming up, I'd say about lap 46 to...
Very difficult.
I was starting to say before, Jonathan's one of those guys with a similar story to just about everybody that comes through here, FSB. Yeah, they played the game a while back, got away from it, still had their wheel in storage, and pulled it out one day and said, hey, let me do this again. And here he is. So he had his readjustment period, but he's now out there winning races, competing. FSB Cup champion from last season.
Wow.
By 1 point over teammate Doug Tevick.
Yeah, I'm sure Doug didn't like that. Me and Doug had a few battles in GTP back in the day, that's for sure. Doug's a great driver. To beat him when he gets to run all the races and he gets focused on a series, he works it, man. So that's great.
Yeah, Doug is untouchable on a road course. I saw him for one lap every time we raced roadies, and that was the first lap, and then he's just gone. He was a speck in the windshield.
Yeah, I haven't heard from Doug in a while, of course.
Yeah, he's retired from racing for a while now. Yeah, he hung it up after last season. Racked himself up another Trans Am championship, and rode off to the sunset. I know he's got lots of things going on with the new house and what have you. Meanwhile, the action on the track is back here in this pack with Jeff Hale, Ken Hansen, Will Farmer, Rick Bisconer, and I believe Rick Bisconer pulled... No, he didn't pull the 6 car up. The 6 car is fading. Got Ken Hansen moving back to P3. Rick Bisconer looking under Farmer for 5th.
Starting to see the tire wear really take its toll as they're backing up and losing a little bit of time to these leaders.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons that Slim wanted to go to this track, the stock Kansas. Get us a little more time off throttle, a little more tire management, as opposed to basically a small super speedway like the other version of Kansas, the FSC that we used to run back in the day when you and Greg broadcast the races. Yeah, that track was fast, and the tire management, while still a thing, you couldn't go all out every lap, but it was just a little bit less significant, less separation built up.
Wow, a big bobble by the 29, and they're all over him. Bisconer gets by, and now Will Farmer, oh my gosh.
Trying the crossover. Here comes the crossover from Hale.
You couldn't have put a piece of paper between them two. I thought they were going to hit. They're doing this while also trying to figure out fuel calculations. And oh yeah, I gotta not speed on pit road.
Well, I think they've made their fuel calculations by this point. If you're starting to do that now, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. Looking at the scanner, we have pit stops. The 99 of Pops. Slim is pitting.
Slim pitting.
And the 43 Rick Bisconner.
Wait. I thought I saw pace car lights on for a second.
Oh, still green. Here he comes. Slim Jim Gately out of the lead. Right behind is Johnson, and they do a great job.
Wow, great big gaggle of cars coming in there.
7-7 locked him up, but well, obviously he was pretty humble when we were talking about his pit skill abilities, because that was a pretty good one. But you do see the master, Slim. Here comes Ken Henson around. That's always the hardest thing, and you lose time. And he does successfully get the Coors Motorcraft team to work on it.
He did a good thing there, too, with that angle. He can just drive right along that wall and get out, and meanwhile Slim's not blocked in, so that was a real good move by veteran driver.
Oh, and he does not get Jonathan at the line, so... Well, that's just make me want to buy some Armor All, man. I'm telling you. Why don't we see if we can get... Oh, okay. Go, Snooky, go. We got Ed Finley. What's up, Ed? Tough luck, buddy.
Yeah, go, Snooky, go home.
Well, we obviously have a Snooky feud here, you know.
Yeah, it says, most of you know I am from New Jersey, and no, I do not know any people like those people on the Jersey Shore.
Well, Ed's from there, too, isn't he?
He's from Long Island.
Well, I get that stuff mixed up, so that's why I'm afraid to say, because Ed has scolded me before. Ed Finley, who painted these cars, by the way.
Yes, he did.
We're communicating via YouTube here.
Yeah, I'm able to have the live chat up now that I've got the extra monitor, and I see him in there too. Hi, Ed. But yeah, well, Mel, you probably yeah, your perspective's a little skewed being out there in California, because your state is the size of the original 13 colonies. So,
yeah,
same territory covers a bit more ground.
I can't believe how big this dang place is, man. I keep finding new roads, and I've been driving around doing tile for 35 years. You know? Ken Hansen right there, too, with a great stop. You got to believe that you're seeing the confidence building. And racing's funny like that. I've had years in FSB where it's just like I couldn't grab my ass with two hands, you know. Every race would be another mistake or a different one, you know. And then sometimes you get on a roll, man, and he's really looking for that roll here because he can win, you know.
Absolutely. I can attest to that personally. Having lost to him by, what was it, .001 here that one time? Chicagoland. I know, you and Greg were out of your minds in the booth on that one, and I was just sitting there with my head against the steering wheel like, what have I got to do to win one of these things? Next thing you know, you're dragging me up to the booth. Well, this front pack, they all had excellent stops. As I said, that angled stop by Ken Hansen was a good move. It allowed both him and Slim to have nice fast stops, got them out together. I'm not sure what the holdup with Jeff Hales was, but he's leading that second group, and they have lost the draft on the lead three here.
Well, it was that green flag stop. These guys nailed it.
Well, Hale is one of the best at the green flag stops. I don't know if he got held up or something.
Well, you know, we were offered to converse with Jonathan Jones, but I mean, he's in such a battle right now. I would not even want to, you know, under caution, you know, maybe.
Yeah, if we catch a caution, I'll grab him and have you grab him. But
he was like, I
yeah,
don't care. I'm just gonna ride around and chill. And he's fighting for the win right here. So
yeah, he said he's gonna ride around, but I knew better. I've raced with him. I know you just met him, but I've raced with him before, and no,
like
he doesn't ride around.
Yeah, but I like people that, you know, like Slim. He's very humble, and you know, they let their racing do the talking for them. You know,
It's all a philosophy too. Just, you know, take what the race will give you, and right now the race is giving him a lot.
exactly. I remember Slim wrote a paper that still in the FSB database, you know, about
Absolutely.
his philosophy on racing. You know, and he put it out there, especially for like rookies, and you know, this is the realistic goals you look at as you're a driver. You know.
Absolutely, and I've read that, and I agree with quite a bit of that. It's always the philosophy I've raced with too. Is like, you can't make things happen that are outside the limits of the game, of the car, of yourself. So if you're stuck in a spot like, let's say like TG Reese right now, 15 seconds back. I don't know if he's got damage or anything, but he needs a caution. The only thing he can do is keep that car in one piece, try and keep himself on the lead lap, and keep that car together so that if you do catch your break, then you can get at it. You can't go out there and try and make up that 15 seconds. Same even right now for Jeff Hale, 4 seconds back. He's driving that car as fast as it'll go, so the thing to do, you hook up with the other 3 cars there, keep your cars in one piece, and take what the race will give you.
Well, now you can break it into two slices. 60 laps, 50 laps to go.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. We
got like 10 laps on your tires, maybe. So
yeah, they restarted with about 94 to go. I mean, if you go 33 laps, 32 laps on fuel, that's perfect. You got a 31, a 31, and a 32 there.
But that's long enough to where if it stays green, that these guys, once again, will see the good racing we saw. Unfortunately, that ended up meaning that the packs are separated because of the excellent pit stops by that front 3.
Absolutely, and we got the third group there, or pairing really. Will Farmer and Dino Francesconi back about 10 seconds back.
This is a great run for Dino, man. This is exactly what he needs, and he wants more. The Hooter girls, I'm telling you, they're really excited down there, right below our pit stand, Hi, girls. Hi, Uncle Melty.
Yeah, I've never been there. They were Alan Kowicki's sponsor, and as I've mentioned before, I was a big fan, and I'm not a big fan of what Hooters did to that team after Alan died, so I've never actually set foot in one.
Big separation between cars. Papa Farmer, Bill Farmer in the '06, the ninth. All these guys need a caution, you know. Mark DeCenza too, just really shocking run from AM, you know. But that shows you how hard it is. You just have seen him destroy people, and Kansas, you know, takes a certain rhythm, and if you don't get off it,
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. Did he just kill the tires or something?
Slim Jim's still in the lead. Everybody just right there on a nice little pace. The three of them together.
Yeah, I'd say they've settled in. They realize what they've got going here. There's no real reason to get to fighting with each other and possibly let that second group catch back up.
Exactly.
So work together, get to the next pit stop, and that'll be for the race if you go green the rest of the way. So still got to survive that. Meanwhile, if I'm that second group with Jeff Hale and Rick Bisconer, I'm thinking about cutting that run exactly in half. Everybody's going to have to cut it in half. Get in on the short end of that and just try and make up as much time as you can on the fresher tires. If you can close that gap and get in on their draft, which is tall order with 4 seconds, but if you really nail the stop and really pick up some time for a couple laps on fresher tires, and someone in this group has a problem, that could close things back up. Of course, I say that about them working together, and here comes Ken Hansen looking on the outside. Backs it off.
I definitely wouldn't. Yeah, I would just be glad to be a part of it. If Jonathan started losing distance, then you get paranoid. Then you want to try to get around him, you know.
Yeah, and hopefully he hasn't been trying too hard. He's coming a bit off the bottom now. Could be getting the tires kind of hot and greasy. Because when we get to about lap 73, that's your window. You have 30, you know, where you can make 34 laps on tires, or on fuel rather. So these guys are getting near the end of the run.
That's when it's going to start getting good here. Seems like Jonathan's pushing up a little bit there. Lost about a car length. Slim's not going to go anywhere really because of the draft dependency, and he wants to keep that pace too. He can't push it too hard, or he'll start to experience tire degradation. And Ken Hansen, just as we speak, Jonathan decides, you know what, I'm going to let him go here.
Yeah. Well, Slim's got the advantage of having had air on the nose pretty much all night long, and that makes it a bit easier on the tire.
It does. You create the pace, and you have air on the nose. Up yourself into a Slim Jim.
You know, Rick Bisconer is looking all around on Jeff Hale here. And again, if I was those two, I'd be working together as much as possible.
How are these guys going to negotiate Pops Martison, the venerable one? And they do it.
And once again, it does not look like it's Pop's night. Don't know what trouble he ran into, but he's definitely off the pace.
The legend, Pops. battle for P4, Hale and Visconner.
Yeah, I've been watching that on the laptop here. And, Biscuit's looking for a way around him, but again, I wouldn't do that. And we are now looking at lap 71 of 107. We should be seeing those pit stops next couple laps.
Last lap for that pair, P4 and P5. Hale and Visconner, 33-1. Ken Hansen all over the professor. He's been saving tires back there. That's the thing about being in P3 right there behind. As long as you don't lose time, you can lift earlier.
Exactly. Lift a little earlier, roll up on them through the center.
He ran a 30 through almost a 33, 32.9 last lap, yet he's up on the leader here, Slim Jim.
Now Jonathan Jones is doing something I wouldn't do in this spot here. Dropping down out of their draft on the apron on the front stretch. Yeah, it cuts a little bit of time off your lap, but at the expense of staying tucked in the draft. And you can see it's actually caused a gap.
Yeah, he needs to suck back up on them guys. Interestingly, though, that second pack is running right around the same speed, so they're in the 33s also. But Hansen with a 33.065 and Slim with a 33.035. That's upwards of almost a second faster than that second pack by 9/10. Nothing on the scanner yet. And
No.
we have
There we go.
got the scanner. We got
Hale, Visconner, pops.
Hale, yep.
They're doing just what I called. You're
Exactly.
hitting a little bit earlier.
And they're still a little bit to the good there, so it should be fine.
It is risky. They could lose a lap doing this, but they were kind of in a rock and a hard place to begin with.
Let's take a look at what Slim's going to do. And Hansen is pitting, and Slim is not.
Ooh.
Big move
We got
here.
Slim, and Slim is all by himself out there.
All by himself out there. Hansen signaled early, so a lot going on at that moment, but Slim had definitely had the should have seen that, but then again, you're doing a lot of things in the cockpit. Cars leaving pit road. Looking good for the 9 right here.
And Slim is still out there. I guess he figures his bet is made. He's gonna stick in it.
Good stuff for Johnson, and he's definitely
Jonathan Jones, not Johnson.
Johnson. Why do I keep saying Johnson?
Because for a time we had more Johnsons than Rockridge around here.
Jonathan Jones. Okay, so that's another Jones. It could be like, I don't know, I saw Dan Jones around, but didn't run the race. He was in TeamSpeak.
Yeah, Dan was reinstalling some stuff on his computer. Running into some issues with that.
Here comes Jeff Hale on Jonathan and makes short work of it. Must have been a great stop for Jeff.
They made up that, would you say there was about a second of fall off? They were out there running laps, that much faster for a couple laps there. and combined with a better stop, yep, that'll do it. So, classic veteran pit stop move there by Jeff Hale.
Will Farmer exiting pit road. No, he's entering. Sorry, Will Farmer in the 2 car entering his stall. Nice and clear for him. So nice. Oh, and he enters and exits. What was that? Stop and go for Will Farmer?
Oh, that sounds like a pass through. Yep.
He stopped and then.
Okay, we're stopping it. Yeah, that's costly. And Slim's back in. Or is he coming in for the first time now?
He's coming in for the first time.
First time now, okay. I got confused with red cars. Yeah, Slim's coming in now. Yeah, he was 10 seconds up on Mark DeSenza there, okay.
No, wait a minute. I'm looking at the chat. What the heck's going on here? Stop and go for Slim Jim Gately. Too.
Oh no, I thought he'd been in, because I thought I saw him blend before.
Yeah, I just looked on the chat, and he had already entered and exited. Penalty for the leader. That's going to mix everything up here.
That is. This changes everything, as they say. And now
we're scrambling here in the booth.
Yeah, there's a. This is one of the most chaotic green flag sequences we've seen in a while.
I'll be right back. Maybe you can make sense of this.
Well, the scoring is going to sort itself out any minute now, but I believe Jeff Hale is. Oh, he's going to be in second. Ken Hansen still has the lead. And he's got Slim Jim there in his draft. So there's our leader. Different beer than Milty drinks, but got the Coors Not Yet Silver Bullet up front. Running the Bill Elliott colors with Ken Hansen. With another beer car and Jeff Hale in the Miller High Life. Trying to run him down. Jonathan Jones, making another good pit stop right there with Jeff Hale. Running third. And Slim Jim Gately with a very uncharacteristic pit road mistake. Yeah, I almost wonder if he didn't get nailed for an unsafe entry, because he came in there kind of sideways. I'll have to back that up on the camera 2 PC here and see what happened.
Ken Hansen.
Yeah, I'll put the camera on our leader here while I go back and find Slim's initial pit stop.
As we take a look at that, Ken Hansen pitted early, committed, executed, and he's rolling. And he's got draft help. Slim a lap down in 8th. As he just disposes of Bill Farmer. Jeff Hale all the way up to 2nd place. In a great battle for 3rd with Jonathan Jones. Ben's also a lap down in 9th. Connor in 4th all by himself.
Oh wow, I just followed Slim on his pit entry. He was not even close to 45 when he crossed that line. I'm thinking he got nailed for speeding. Yeah.
That's like me in my company truck, you know, when I go 70 into 55, all of a sudden I get a text on my phone. You're going 75 into 55. Do what?
Yeah, I went back and watched it. I'm afraid Slim did get busted for speeding. He crossed that line about 65, 70.
Well, you know, in the driver's meeting, he was talking about sportsmanship and about stuff, and he also obviously, you know, exudes that day in and day out. And He's going to race hard as he can, and he'll live with it and move on.
Somewhere along the way, Jonathan Jones got around Jeff Hale. I guess that early pit stop finally caught up to Jeff, and Jonathan Jones has moved himself into P2. So I'm going to put it in the side-by-side and step aside myself. Take it away, Milty.
Alrighty, buddy. Ken Hansen in the lead, and he's got Slim realizing that, look, I'm right here. I want to get my lap back. I can help him at the same time and help each other. If we get a caution, I can get my lap back right here. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to help him at the same time. This is a great situation for Ken Hansen. Just all about executing and driving your race. It's too early to tell, and I'm definitely not going to be like some of them announcers here. It's like, and he's about to win. It's way too early. Anything can happen. Mark DeSenza wants to move up as he's following Jonathan Jones and try to get his lap back too that way. Or there's also the lucky dog, which fortunately I don't know which guy that would be. I guess that'd be the first car, which would be Slim. He is the lucky dog. I keep forgetting, I'm old school, forgot that now they have the lucky dog. Two great battles here. They're right on the edge of the draft. This second group really needs to race together and try to get Jonathan back up there. What it looks like they're doing. Well, this is the point where you start hearing things. Been a while since Ken has won on Friday. If he, it's been so long, I can't remember if he has. Click him off. He's running about 32.5s, which is pretty conservative, and there's really, with that lead, but it's not that much, and this group is coming behind them. They're right inside of them. You can see them. It's
I'm
like
back,
a dog
and
looking for meat. You see them, you want to attack, and they're right there. DeSenza's helping Jonathan Jones, and Slim is helping the 9 car. And they're trying to help themselves if they get a chance to get a caution here.
Put Jonathan Jones' in-car camera on the inset here as he tries to run down Slim Jim and Ken Hansen in that breakaway. Well, I speculated that something was wrong with Mark DeSenza's car, and I guess it wasn't. He must have just been a victim of draft circumstances and probably early tire wear trying to come up through the field after that end of longest line. Now, he stayed out at least as long as Slim on that run, so he's got fresh tires, and right now he is Jonathan Jones' best friend.
Ken Hansen's in car. He's seeing the lap traffic coming up here. Jonathan can see them. They're just so close. You're looking for any inroads you can get. But
It looks
you
like
don't
they
want to push. You got to be smooth.
and they are losing time. What happened to Jeff Hale? He's just fallen off. Oh, I guess that was the tires. Never mind. So he's probably lost that draft now. He took his shot, and it was the one to take. I still agree with the move. That's the position he was in. Ooh.
All
Little bobble by Hansen.
32.7s for the top 4 cars in that draft, those 2 packs, all 32.7s within hundreds and thousands of each other. So nobody's given an inch there, but it looked like Mark DeCenza did get a little wide and pushed a little bit, but he's still right behind Jonathan Jones. Jonathan seems to exit turn 2 real wide, but he does it every lap. And right up against the wall and gets a great run coming out.
Yeah, you want to get that momentum built up down the backstretch. Carry it off the corner as straight as you can, like I was talking about with Slim saving the tires.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's alright.
Leaders are coming up on traffic now, so they're going to get out of the way, but it's still going to slow them down just a hair.
Slow them down just a hair, and then if
Slow.
TG can... Oh, well, look at the Senza making the move on Jonathan Jones.
And
actually, you know what? If I'm Jonathan Jones, that's probably a good move to make. Let him go. Don't fight. He knows he's got newer tires and he's a lap down. TG Reese can help bridge the gap a little bit with the draft between them.
You're smart, man. You sound like a champion or something.
I've been doing this a while, and I've figured some things out here and there. I've always been, particularly good at the super speedways and the super speedway style of racing and keeping track of the draft. And I remember, one of the earliest races when Dan Jones joined the team over at Pony Express. I had a bad pit stop, and I pulled out just a little bit behind him and the 2 or 3 car breakaway he was with. And I told him, hey, drag your brake until you're 0.6 back of the guy in front of you. He's like, what? Just do it. Put your F2 up, drag until you're 0.6 back. And all of a sudden, I sucked right up to his rear bumper, and then he sucked right back up to the bumper in front of him, and we took off. He's like, wow, how'd you know how to do that? Lots of practice.
A big gain for that second pack on the last lap. Now we're looking at, this time it was almost a second. 33.1 for Slim. And now it
Smoke
pays back. Now DeCenza lost he's 32.8 last lap, so they're ebbing and flowing as they're trying to get around this traffic.
I heard a screech and I saw some smoke, but I don't know who it was from. See, once again, Jonathan's dropping down.
Hansen is just totally focused right now. He's doing a great job getting by these cars and being patient, but he's lost some time. And you can see as Mark DeCenza takes a look at TG Reese, he wants to get there. TG doing a great job getting out of the way. Now he's got Will Farmer to pass.
Yes, Ken Hansen and Slim have cleared this group.
Low. Mark's going to try him on the outside, and here comes TG on the outside, and great job of Will Farmer to get out of the gas. Even though he was in the preferred line, he got out of the gas way early and made that pass really easy for Mark DeCenza. That's good driving from the young man. When you're a lap down right there, you don't want to be a part of what's transpiring right here. And that was a good move. he continues to impress me.
Absolutely. And
Ken Hansen, you're feeling it. You're looking at 2 laps to go and
Yeah.
less.
next flag ends it.
Behind you.
There's a flag, it's over. So right now, Ken Hansen.
Come on, buddy, bring it home.
Ken's
Me
just
and him
hearing
have
every.
stayed up to the wee hours in the morning, drinking after these races, watching the broadcast for years, and I consider him a good sim racing friend. And he's got the white flag, still running his line, going down low.
He's hearing every sound that engine's making as he
You don't
brings it
wanna
around.
do something different that got you here, so. Two turns to go for the Coors Ford. Obviously, Bay is his hero, and he crosses the line. Yeah, buddy, great job. That was a heck of a race, man. Definitely way exciting, man.
Jonathan Jones with a solid second place there. Just
Wow.
couldn't close that gap. And Jeff Hale.
Well, we're
again,
gonna get him
coming
on
second.
the radio now because he's gonna come up in the booth.
Absolutely.
As a podium finisher.
We didn't get a chance to pull him up. We only had that one caution, and then he had some business to attend to. And he certainly got it done with his rebuilt wheel. Had a little issue with that. And here comes Hansen to burn it down.
Jeff really had a chance. Smoke him, baby. The Coors Melling Ford. Just a really well-deserved win and just a great execution. You know, we've talked to him a lot lately in the booth. He's been building to this point. It's not kind of a fluke. He's gotten on that roll I was talking about earlier in the broadcast of getting starting to compound the positive finishes, and now it culminates in a win in Kansas.
All right, I'll let you go grab our podium finishers here.
You betcha.
User left your channel.
All right, so let's get our race recap up here. Oh, it still says starting grid.
User joined your channel. User joined your channel.
There's our standings. Ken Hansen coming in with the win. Jonathan Jones second. Jeff Hale third. Rick Bisconer fourth. Professor Slim Gately with that pit road issue in fifth. Mark DeSenza sixth. T.G. Reese in seventh. Bill Farmer eighth. And Pops Margison ninth. And Will Farmer in 10th to round out your top 10. And Ryan Johnson, last car running, 3 laps down in 11th. Dino Francisconi, Ed Finley, and Ed Fowler rounding it out with the finish there.
Kenny, you won, buddy.
Yeah.
That Coors Thunderbird.
Kick-ass win from pole to victory circle. Great job, man.
Thanks, bud.
Heck of a run, man.
Got one finally.
I know how
Wow,
elusive they
man,
can
you
be on
just-
these Friday nights.
Woo. You watch the broadcast I was talking about, you've had runs, like over time, like I had in my career, where you just every week it's something else,
Hey, I think
Tonight,
I think
you
my crew
just
chief,
whipped some of the best in the world right there, and you whipped them
I think my crew
good.
and myself tonight were laying off the course. That's probably what helped.
Your pit stop, absolutely, yeah. Your pit stop. Well, now you can drink, pound that
Celebration
stuff,
time.
baby.
Yeah, I'm getting drowned right now.
Absolutely,
Heck yeah,
you
let the
deserve
beer
it.
flow.
Just that last pit stop, dude. You nailed it. You signaled in plenty of time for Slim to see. You were, hoping on him to, to stay with him, and he went those extra several laps, and which he still would have came out good, but then he had a penalty, and all of a sudden you're coming out. You got to be going, there's Slim right behind me. All of a sudden, wait a minute, he's a lap down from me, man. I got a lead here.
Well, I wasn't even looking at that actually.
Well, we were.
I didn't even
like,
realize he was a lap down.
Are you kidding me? You thought you were racing him for the win?
Oh yeah, I was going balls.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness.
Trying not to make any mistakes,
Well, that was probably good motivation then.
Well, you did. We were talking about how you drove like you drove all race, using the apron, being aggressive, and your car was great on the lead, which we haven't seen that in a while. You just really these guys had to be going, oh shit, the 9 is for real here today.
Yeah, in the beginning there, where I got past and kind of dropped back a little bit right there, I wasn't quite feeling it. Usually takes me quite a few laps to get in that rhythm. But once I got in that rhythm, man, it was. I just kept listening to the engine, lift points, and trying to get some consistency down every lap. That paid off.
Absolutely. And was the idea there to try and get fresher tires before Slim, or were you just really surprised he didn't come in with you?
One of the top runners put up that they were pitting, and I decided to go in right there. So it was down to like 31, I think. It was showing splash a couple times at the line, but I was like, I got enough.
Yeah, that was Jeff Hale and Rick Bisconer who were trying to close a little bit of the gap there, and they pulled in early. Yeah, exactly.
The speed falls off so much that I knew that I'd make that fuel up at the end.
You executed, and then when you came out, you had draft help too, and Slim kind of came back to you.
Yeah, that definitely helped.
Yeah.
Well, your pit partner on that run there was Jonathan Jones. Man, we didn't get to pull you up in the booth tonight because we never got the chance. I mean, we only had one caution, and then you were getting to work. So tell us how it looked from the seat of the 77 there, John.
It looked like the 9 car going to run away with the lead there on the left. No, it looked like the 9 car had the race won. No, it was pretty good. We had a lot of fun, or I had a lot of fun, and those guys were a lot of fun to racing around Slim. I could stay with him, but I couldn't really make any big gains on him. And Ken was right there in my mirror the whole time. I knew Ken had the faster car. I knew he had the. I knew he was faster, but it seemed like he was just being patient. Were you being patient, Ken?
Yes, sir. Saving tires because I knew Slim was. So.
Yeah, we saw you come on strong at the end of the runs there, Ken. So that was good tire management. But yeah, Jonathan, you've been out of the game a bit here with some wheel trouble, but it looks like you're picking up right where you left off.
Yeah, I just got to work on tire management a little bit.
That is key.
There on the last run, I saw that Ken had come out of the pit road pretty far ahead of me, and I said, man, I got to make this gap up. And I made some gains there, and then at the expense of the tires, and then he just started, towards the end of the run, just pulling away. I knew about halfway through the run that I was toast, that I was going to finish where I was at or worse. So it's all right. I had a lot of fun. Definitely the guy that had the best race won the race today. So
excellent. Well, good job, Jonathan, and maybe we'll get a chance to pull you up in here next time.
Well, I mean, man, I've never seen you run before, and I'm like, this guy can broadcast and dude can roll, man. I mean, that was a great race. A lot of patience and working it, and those pit stops were right there with these world-class guys that have been on their game. So, I mean, you definitely should be happy with that result.
Oh, I'm thrilled. I really thought that. To be honest with you, I thought Jeff helped finish ahead of me tonight.
Well, yeah, something happened there with Jeff falling off there at the end. Speaking of great pitters and no stranger to the podium here, Jeff, what happened to your car there at the end? You seemed to fall off.
Well, first of all, big congrats to Ken. He was fast all night. Great run by Jonathan too. Hell of a job. Yeah, both those guys were fast. I had made a huge change when we went qualifying with my steering ratio and settings, and actually forgot to set it back when we went to race. So it was good for a couple laps, but turns 3 and 4 just really killed me. Later on in the runs, and just killed my cars. Just getting real tight, was pushy, and just killed a lot of the speed. Also, on another note, I know I was going to retire last year. We were house hunting, and actually we got a deal that come through. We're closing on a house a little more than a week now, so I'll probably be MIA for a little while. I might do a couple of broadcasts with you guys, but I'll definitely probably miss not next week, but a few weeks after that.
Oh, cool. Good luck with that.
Yeah, but that's good news, though, man.
Yeah, see, I've been teasing Jeff about that retirement because he said he retired from sim racing, but he keeps showing up and beating me.
Yeah, we've been looking for a while, so actually I thought it was going to happen. So last season's why I made the announcement, but we just kept looking, and finally found something else. So yeah, I'll probably run a week or so, and then probably take the rest of the season and probably next season off. But might do some broadcasts for you guys.
Awesome.
Oh, heck
great.
Yeah, man. Yeah, moving is that's the worst thing. But you're gonna be moving,
The worst thing is it's not really the moving part. It's where you get stuff in the house, and she wants it over here. Well, she wants to put the stuff in a certain spot. No, it doesn't look good there. Let's put it over here. Then you move it somewhere else, and then eventually it goes back where it was originally. So
yeah, so sim racing will probably piss your wife off.
Hey, well, make sure you get yourself a good internet connection there. And we'll see you around. Points are updated. I'll get them up on the screen now. And a big missed opportunity for Mark DeRocket Descenza tonight, as he actually, even with Slim's trouble, still lost 2 points. And is now 16 back, with Ken Hansen moving up 2 spots to 21 back. So good night for Ken. Missed opportunity for Mark. Rick Bisconer hanging on there in 4th place. Ryan Johnson still in 5th with another hard luck night. But the professor is going to be hard to beat down the stretch here.
Well, it just shows you, as skilled as them two are, and how they dominated at Homestead and the last couple of races. All of a sudden, boom, we got a new sheriff in town right there. From pole to victory lane, Ken Hansen, man. Just in closing, definitely congrats, bro. Man, great run.
Hold on, I'm doing a kick stand.
That's I said in so many broadcasts, this guy can put it together, and you better watch out, and you did it, man. So that's awesome.
Yeah, but no, it's not your brand, Milty, but it was a Coors and Miller kind of night. I do not recommend drinking Armor All, however.
Oh.
No.
But go ahead and spray some of that on your car. And that's going to be a wrap for us tonight. Thanks for joining me again, Milty. Thanks for coming up to our top 3 here. Ken Hansen, Jonathan Jones, and Jeff Hale. It's been FSB Racing Live, and we will catch you next week at... Where are we next week? Let's get that schedule up.
I did butcher Johnson's name.
Michigan BR. Yeah, he called you Johnson.
Johnson. There's so many Jays, and we've had so many Johnsons that I got confused.
Like I said, once upon a time, these Friday nights had more Johnsons than Rock Ridge, but yeah, we're down to just Ryan Johnson these days. Anyway, great race, guys. Thanks again, Milty, and catch you guys next week. Going off the air right about now.